Bear down, Chicago Bears. We got to ask some really hard questions coming forward. It's a lot of fun to try to figure out what this team is going to do next because let's face it, for a long time, they haven't done the right things. They haven't satisfied the fan base in a way that's resonated. I think this fan base deserves so much better. Now, if you like this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell to be notified of future content, and leave a comment down below. The question for today is Justin Fields QB1? Does he remain QB1 for next year? Now, I want to put up a comparison. And the reason that I want to do this is because if you watch college football, and I'm a big college football fan, then you've seen some very, very good quarterbacks that have come through some systems. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Justin Fields is your QB1 right now, whether you want him to be or not. He is your QB1. Tyson Bagent on the sidelines. He's the backup. But Justin Fields, here's what I want to ask you a question. Would you rather have Kyler Murray, who's riding the pine in Arizona? Would you rather have Baker Mayfield, who's shown over and over again that long-term he is not a solution for anybody? Or would you rather have Justin Fields? Now, if your answer was anything other than Justin Fields out of those choices, then I don't think you're thinking clearly. Now, that's my opinion. That's not a professional opinion, by the way, but that is my opinion. Because I want to point out, those two guys were coached by Lincoln Riley. Caleb Williams is now being coached by Lincoln Riley. So let's take a quick look here. These are the statistics. Player one, 285 completions, 400 attempts, 70% completion, 4,627 yards, 43 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Passer rating, very similar. Player two, 263, 70, 69, 4,361 yards, 42 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 199 rating. And then player three, 333, 500, 66.6%, 4,537, 42 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 168.5 passer rating. These are Caleb Williams, these are Baker Mayfield, and these are Kyler Murray stats. And look, I'm not telling you that Caleb Williams is not a good quarterback or that he doesn't check all the boxes, but we've seen this play before. Caleb Williams is the guy who looks great in a system, but we don't know if he's a great quarterback. So I'm going to point out something here. If you don't like Justin Fields, you may not like this. This guy is a risk. He is a high risk. No matter what you're seeing on the field, we're all seeing it, but we don't all see it the same way because we know where it comes from. So I want to posit just this, that perhaps we should stick with Justin. Now, if we should stick with Justin Fields, then I want to go on to the next topic. And that next topic is a statement here made from Ryan Poles. What I see every day where I see him address the team, and I see his approach through adversity. It is stable, man. Now, this is him speaking of Matt Eberflus. So it is possible that we're looking at Matt Eberflus sticking with this team, okay? And I know in the outside world, it doesn't look like that. And I know that it looks like we're far away. But this dude comes in every day and just keeps chipping away. He has high integrity. The people that he brings in here, he's done the work to make sure that they're the people they're supposed to be. Again, we hold that standard. If it doesn't follow that and people aren't acting that way, they're not here. Now, I want to say this. Matt Eberflus issued a statement just recently saying that he doesn't he comes in prepared every day. He makes sure that the offense is secure, the defense is secured, et cetera, et cetera. The offense is in no way secure. So I want to say that, yes, I believe that he's a man of high integrity, but I also believe that he's a man who's giving too many chances and costing too many opportunities to a team desperately in need of performance. And the fact that Luke Getsy is not getting it done for Justin Fields. And again, say what you want about Justin Fields. Justin Fields needs to be in a system that works for him. And we're trying to make it a system that works for Luke Getsy. And that's just not working. And the fact that he didn't recognize that early and change that should change your mind, at least, that Luke Getsy, and if it hasn't already, Luke Getsy has got to go, that he cannot continue on the way he is, which leaves an offensive coordinator position available. Now, if the offensive coordinator position is available, who do you bring in for that? Well, there is a question right now of head coaches, and the head coaches on the list here, Eric Bieniemy and Jim Harbaugh. So if that's the case, then what we're talking about here is Eric Bieniemy, who is basically at this point, let's just call him a quarterback whisperer, because he's done a massive job with Sam Howell. By the way, between Drake May, Sam Howell, Mitchell Trubisky, North Carolina is producing a lot of quarterbacks. But Sam Howell looked a little listless, looked like he needed some direction and some guiding. And he was pulled away. The Washington Commanders pulled Eric Bieniemy away from Kansas City, and they were able to right the ship and turn Sam Howell into a productive and really good performer. The same thing can be said about Patrick Mahomes, but let's look today with Matt Nagy as the offensive coordinator and where he is today. Where is he today? Well, he's still Patrick Mahomes, but he's not throwing to Travis McAuto. So I don't know that Patrick Mahomes is served well by his current coaching staff and the people who are around him at this point. And is that a shot at Matt Nagy? Yeah, it's 100% a shot. But Eric Bieniemy seems to have that ability to resonate with a quarterback and to teach a quarterback how to be their best self. Now, you have to ask yourself this question: did Matt Nagy do that? Has so far Luke Getsy done that? And for that matter, has Matt Eberflus? So let's take that for just a moment and say that we would like to see somebody like an Eric Bieniemy in the offensive coordinator position. Is it under Matt Eberflus, or does he become the head coach? Well, I'm going to posit this. If Eric Bieniemy becomes the head coach, he's not going to do wonders with Justin Fields, nor Caleb Williams for that matter, because he's the head coach. He has a different job. His position as offensive coordinator would be better served in that regard. So if we could lure him away for that purpose, wonderful. But to bring in Eric Bieniemy as the head coach and put him in charge of an entire team when the purpose and the function of Eric Bieniemy is to be an offensive coordinator and coordinate the offense and get that quarterback to a high level, then we're not doing any service to this team. So between those two, I'm going to stick with Matt Eberflus in that regard. And I would like to see Eric Bieniemy come in as the offensive coordinator. Pay him what you got to pay him. However, there's also Jim Harbaugh sitting out there. And I don't have a graphic for Jim Harbaugh. In fact, the graphic was Matt Eberflus of all people. But Jim Harbaugh, if Jim Harbaugh comes in, then that's the prodigal son coming home, so to speak, and that will be a great thing for Chicago in the short term. And I think Braylon Edwards said it best, that no matter where he goes, he turns the teams around. He's done a great job in Francisco. He's done a great job in Michigan. He's done a great job everywhere he's gone. He turned Stanford into a contender before all of them. So I really think that Jim Harbaugh can do exactly what needs to be done for the Chicago Bears. And he is a hometown hero in that regard. So I would like to see something like that happen. And if that were the case, and if I'm making the decision here, Jim Harbaugh is my head coach. Love to see somebody like Eric Bieniemy come in again as the offensive coordinator. No disrespect to Eric Bieniemy. I'm sure he's going to make a fine head coach in this league. But that's not the point. The point is we don't need a head coach. We need an offensive coordinator who can get into Justin Fields and make something happen. And that's assuming that we can get Justin Fields on the field doing better, and we continue to stay with Justin Fields and not try to move on to Caleb Williams, which in my opinion is a wasted draft pick. But you know what would not be a wasted draft pick? This guy right here, Marvin Harrison. If I'm making a draft pick, then this is who I'm looking for. This is the guy that I want to bring in as my future. This is the guy I want to throw the ball to. This is the bookend that I want to attach to DJ Moore to make sure that both sides of the fields can be scanned, or that we can put those two together and have them rub and get each other open. Create screens for one, create opportunities for catches and scores. These guys would work tremendously together. They would create a difficult situation for every backfield in this league immediately. Marvin Harrison is NFL ready right now. There's several players in college right now at wide receiver who are available. We're talking Marvin Harrison right now. Marvin Harrison statistically, 16.4. He's got 67 receptions, 1,211 yards, 14 touchdowns with an average catch rate of 18.1 yards per catch. These are phenomenal statistics. This is the guy that you want catching the ball from Justin Fields. And here's the thing. You want him going out there and catching the ball that Justin Fields is just a tiny bit off on. That's the guy. DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., book it. This is exactly what needs to happen. And then the other guy. Now, we've dropped to the number 5 pick as it's sitting. And, the Bears could have a good weekend. They could have a good end of year and end up in a really good position. And this guy right here is my guy. If I'm picking somebody that the Bears absolutely need, it is Jared Verse. Now, look, I think that we need a secondary that's improved. but I feel like the secondary that we have is pretty young. Save Eddie Jack, but Jaquan Brisker is in his second year. Look, we've got a lot of talent in that backfield. And once Eddie Jackson gets replaced, we'll replace him in free agency and we will be fine. We will not be worse. This team will have a chance to gel a little bit more and we will be better. But Jared Verse is a game changer at the right end position with Montez Sweat at the left end position and Jared Verse collapsing pockets around quarterbacks at a level that he's doing. 9 sacks on this year, 41 tackles, 23 solo, 18 assisted, 2 passes defended, and no interceptions. But hey, you know what? This guy pressures the quarterback play after play after play. He's got a motor that doesn't quit. And between these two guys, these are the guys that I would like to see. So if I'm summarizing what it was, I would love to see, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. But I think that our best play is either Matt Eberflus or Jim Harbaugh as the head coach, Eric Bieniemy as offensive coordinator. Sorry, Eric, I love you as both a player and a coach, but I think offensive coordinator is what the Bears need right now. It would be make that difficult decision. Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, make that difficult decision. Eric Bieniemy needs to be an offensive coordinator for this Bears team or a head coach somewhere else. Now, if that's the case, I want Jim Harbaugh, preferably. Matt Eberflus, I would even take. And I want Justin Fields to be my quarterback because I don't trust that Kevin Williams is anything. I don't trust that Caleb Williams is anything more than Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray in disguise. And he could have a great career. Baker Mayfield is starting to turn his career down in Tampa right now. Kyler Murray, if he can stop dressing like Spider-Man long enough, might just be able to turn his life around and get back onto the field and do great things. But look, it's a long there's a big chance here that we could get game-changing players, that we could get a good system in place. So these are my picks, guys. I'm going to call it Matt Eberflus stays. We need an offensive coordinator. I'm hoping for Eric Bieniemy. But the draft picks, do what you got to do, guys. Make it happen. You want Marvin Harrison Jr. You want Jared Verse. When somebody tells you anything other than Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jared Verse, they don't know what they're talking about. But again, let me know what you think. And I know you have an opinion that probably disagrees with what I'm telling you right now, because we're all welcome to have our opinions, and it is just an opinion. But my opinion in the last big draft, I going back, was that we needed a Deshaun Watson, that we needed a Patrick Mahomes, not a Mitchell Trubisky. I know what I'm talking about. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I crazy with this? Should we just go all in on Jim Harbaugh? Should we move on to Caleb Williams? It's a very difficult situation that we're trying to figure out here. But I think, again, let's give Matt one last year, get a new offensive coordinator that understands the system. By the way, if Eric Bieniemy is not available, please go pay Tommy Rees whatever he needs to come out of Alabama and come coach Justin Fields the way Justin Fields deserves to be coached. And then bring in Marvin Harrison Jr., Jared Verse, and let's go, baby. All right, guys, that's it for right now. Until we speak again, you guys have a good night. Bear down, and we will talk to you again.